Hey everybody, welcome back to Chortle Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Jake, and with me as always, the Stream King, the Far Cry Guy, the man who may cry devil, the King of Thieves, and L'Assassin, Steven.
I thought we were tired, the man who may cry devil.
Yeah, but then it just came out, you know what I mean? It was like a reflex. It just happened, you know? I have favorites that I stick to, and that's just those are the ones that come out, you know what I mean?
Whatever gets you away from Star Wars, big boy.
Oh, the Star Wars big one. The Star Wars big one is what I just said, Steven.
Big one.
The big one.
Here comes the big one.
Here comes the big one. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Chortlecast. If you didn't already know, this is the official podcast of Chortle Games, where we talk about video games, TV shows, movies, anime, whatever we want to talk about. We got a great show for you this week. Sorry we missed you last week. We're going to be catching up on a little bit of news, but we're going to be talking about an update to the Fortnite or the Epic versus Apple case. We're going to catch you up on Gamescom, what's been happening over there, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the Marvel's Avengers post-launch characters and how they're going to be costing you some money.
Yeah, we're kind of just going to be talking a little bit about launch week in general too. I imagine just
a lot of Marvel talk at the end there. So yeah. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. And we'll do some catch up at the end. I'm going to talk. We didn't even talk about this, Steven, before we started, but I'm going to talk a lot about Windbound and Spiritfarer. And Steven is going to talk about whatever Steven talks about.
I'm going to talk about a mobile game, probably.
Oh, that's right. Steven got into a mobile game for the first time.
I hate everything now.
The world is suddenly darker.
Can we talk about the most important news story of all, though? And that is that literally 5 minutes before we hit record, I found Doom Radio beats to rip/tear to on YouTube, and my life has been forever changed for the past 5 minutes.
My life for the past 5 minutes has been forever changed.
The past 5 minutes has been vastly different from all of the time that preceded this most past 5 minutes.
I love how you said that. Thank you. That was beautiful. Yeah. Okay, well, let's jump into the news. Let's dive right in. So our first news story. Let's talk about Epic versus Apple. Let's get this behemoth out of the way.
I love watching this story unfold because it's like watching two people you hate beat the crap out of each other.
It really, and we kind of discussed this a podcast or so ago. I don't really, and especially now that I've had more time to stew on it, I know that I care who wins or loses in this game, but it's really, really entertaining.
It's definitely entertaining. I hope Epic loses because they need to be knocked down a peg. They need to know that they can lose. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I won't be sore about it if
I mean, I think you could almost say the same thing about Apple, you know?
Oh, Apple's struggling a little bit. They really, it's funny because Apple is one realization away from being in serious trouble. And that realization is that it's not 2010 anymore. And there are other smartphone options out there.
Yeah.
Because like I just got the new Galaxy Note 20 Ultra and it's better than any iPhone I've ever seen.
So Steven,
granted,
I'll tell you, I've been eyeing that Galaxy Flip.
Yep.
I've been.
There's a new one coming out this year.
I know. I've been real tempted. Cause that's like what I want. I'm also fighting myself because I have this craving to buy an iPad mini, and like I don't need it. But I'm telling myself all these things I could do with it. You know what I mean? And basically what it really boils down to is I just want a phone that is the size of an iPad mini. And that's what the Fold or whatever, the Galaxy Fold Flip is called.
It's a phablet. Yeah.
It's a phablet. It is a phone that it opens up to be the size of an iPad mini and it folds up to be an iPhone or whatever.
I think it's the Fold that you're referring to.
Fold must be what it's called. Anyway,
the Flip is the one that like kind of looks like a makeup thing with the mirror to where you can close it and then you can open it and it's a full length touch screen.
You know, Razer, they did. That's what they did. And I thought about doing that because I used to be a Razer before iPhone came out.
Everybody, Razer was the king of phones before iPhone. Now iPhone is.
Look, it was the coolest thing ever, man. I still miss it. I think I found one of my old ones a long time ago, and I was just like, man, remember when this was a phone? That was so cool. Anyway,
classic. Yeah, but my point is, there are I can't say vastly better phone options. There are better phone options out there than iPhone, and the problem is people don't realize that. They just kind of want to be told, here's your phone, here's what it can do. They want to be restricted. Like there are just so many consumers out there are just sheep, and literally the reason Apple is as big as they are and have an alleged monopoly over the mobile market is because people are stupid and just don't know that there's other solutions to their mobile problem.
I'm one of those stupid people, and I'm scared to make the jump because I've seen what Android did like there was this one moment, but like in 2010 the iPhone was king, and if you watched people with the Androids, it was like, oh, how do you live with this? This just doesn't work. And normally, like any kind of device, like smartwatches, that's a great example. There were other people that were doing smartwatches before Apple released the Apple Watch, but the Apple Watch was the definitive, like, this is what a smartwatch needs to be when they launched it. I don't even know if that's true anymore. Like other companies may have caught up at this point to what
I've got the Galaxy Watch 2, I think, and I love it. It's great.
Yeah, just crazy stuff. Anyway, we've gone off on a long little rabbit trail there about phones. But anyway, so if you're not to date, basically Epic and Apple are in this lawsuit deal. It is such a long conversation. If you're not caught up, if you haven't heard
about what's going on, like, why are you listening to our podcast? Like, are are we your only connection to anything video game related? If that is the case, stop. You found the best channel. Look nowhere else.
Look nowhere else.
Just nowhere else. Don't get any other news.
We are your source.
Find a rock, live under it.
And just listen to us. To quickly summarize, Epic, Apple has a 30% cut that they take for any mobile transactions from their Apple Store. Epic created their own separate payment method. This caused Apple to remove Fortnite from the Apple Store. Epic then had a counter lawsuit or a lawsuit basically saying that their 30% cut is unfair and that they have a monopoly on the mobile market and blah, 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 blah. So anyway, a court, U.S. District Judge Yovan Gonzalez Rogers, I totally butchered that name and I apologize, made a ruling late Monday night. This was almost a week ago, maybe. Anyway, she basically ruled that, it wasn't a total loss for Epic Games. Wait, no, I'm sorry. Oh man, I'm flipping all over the place. Basically, she ruled that Apple did not have to immediately reinstate Fortnite. She basically said that Apple was in the right, which legally, I think they were. They technically are in the right.
They were.
Epic broke terms of service terms and conditions of being in the App Store. And so Apple rightfully banned them. And so the court ruled in favor of Apple on that. Like, yep, you don't have to reinstate them. They broke your rules. That's fine. However, it wasn't a slam dunk for Apple either, because as a counter to the lawsuit, Apple basically threatened to disable the Unreal Engine on iOS devices, which would not only hurt Epic, but it would hurt lots of developers who, that Unreal Engine is free. So like if you're someone looking for a game engine and you have no budget or little budget, that's a great option. And so Apple was threatening to disable that and not let anyone develop with that. And the court basically said, no, you can't do that. That's not fair either. And basically none of these dictate a final outcome on the litigation. There will be another hearing on September 28th, which is crazy how close that is. If you really think about it, that we are not that far from that. That's basically where we stand now. So not a slam dunk for either party, but it didn't go immediately in Epic's favor either. So this will, like you said, Steven, this is an interesting one to watch, and I'm really curious to see where this is going. Now we've had conversations about this, and we don't have to go all the way into it again. But Steven, you shared an interesting video with me. Who was it that Game Theory? Is that
it was Game Theory? Matt Pat over at Game Theory.
So he has a really compelling video that talks about, because he went through the legal documents and basically kind of broke down what is at the heart of this. And you go watch his video, give it a click, listen to the whole thing. It's very informative. But basically what it boils down to is Epic is making this out to be about these antitrust issues, and basically they want to get more of a cut from V-Buck sales and stuff. But really, in the legal documents, there's a certain phrase about Epic is wanting Apple to allow third-party app stores to be usable.
If it weren't for Apple's terms, then we would be able to launch an Epic Games Store app or something like that. Basically, it was all but them saying like, this is what we're planning to do.
Yeah,
they basically said that like this is our intent.
Their intent is to have the ability to launch their own app store on iPhones. Right. Which, and as we've kind of said too, like that would not only open the door for them, but it would open the door for like Valve if they wanted to open their own Steam app store, or xCloud. I think would allow that to open up, which is kind of, I think, in the end of our stuff, like we were talking about worst and best case scenarios, like that's kind of what I was hoping for, was that this would kind of open the door for xCloud to come in and all this other stuff. But as you I watched that video and I was like, well, even though this is what they're wanting to do, I don't know if it's a bad thing or not. And Steven, you kind of were like, well, I don't think it's a bad thing, but like on my PC, I have like, what'd you say? You listed
five different platforms which I have to play my PC games on, because there's Steam, Epic Game Store, which I only have because of Phoenix Point, because they switched the Kickstarter backer place last minute. So thanks for that, guys. Xbox Games Pass, Uplay, and Origin. But Origin doesn't really get used anymore because they finally gave up.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just crazy. So and we talked a little bit too about part of, well, I don't know, something that Apple kind of totes is that they're very secure. iPhones are hard to hack and all this other stuff. So opening this up to third parties, that would decrease security on the iPhone a lot.
Yep, because you're potentially like, if you're opening up a platform on your platform that allows you to get software that has not been vetted or software that has not been properly vetted, then your iPhone is no longer secure. Yeah, it's very susceptible to breaches.
Yeah. So I really don't know what I want to happen anymore in this whole thing. There's a part of me that's like, I wish I lived in the world where this just didn't happen. Like, could we just keep rolling? But I don't know. It'll be very interesting to see how it progresses.
Well, I just for the record want to say, I said this was going to happen 2.5 weeks. Well, about 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. I just want to just focus on the fact that I was right about something when it came to this industry, because I'm normally not super wrong, but I'm normally just like, oh, okay, so I was wrong. But this time it's just like, I beat Matt Pat to something. That's never happened.
That's never happened. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, so another big thing that happened this week, Gamescom has kicked off. Gamescom opening night, hosted by Jeff Keighley. I kind of kept forgetting about this, but this is the finale of the Summer Games events. So this is like the big finale of the E3 summer, if you will. And it was
literally not heard a single thing about it on social media.
I was about to say it was okay. It was okay. a lot of the news was games that we've already seen and heard about. There were a couple new things in there, but how much you care about those new things is really up to you, depending. And that's kind of how Gamescom has always been. Usually you have E3 and then a couple months later, Gamescom comes in and there's normally a demo of a game that you saw at E3 or, some other stuff comes out. So not completely not completely surprising, but as the finale for summer games, it's kind of like, okay, whatever. I was kind of expecting PlayStation and Xbox to announce price and release date at this. I was waiting for that to drop, but it didn't happen. So spoilers. So I'm going to do this like we normally do when we have these kind of shows where there's lots of things announced. I'm going to just go down the list. I'm going to say what was announced, give a brief talk about it. If we want to stop and discuss, we can. Otherwise, we'll keep moving. So lots of stuff to get through. So they started out with Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. This was, had leaked and then had gotten officially announced. And so this was kind of our first where we got to see it. They showed like a trailer and all this sort of stuff. Mm-hmm. I am not a Call of Duty person, so I don't really know. I don't have much to say about this, but
it's another Call of Duty game. That's basically all you can say about it. I
will say this. The cinematics look amazing. They look really, really good. So this was one that was interesting. Unknown 9, The Awakening was announced. It's by Reflector Entertainment. They revealed their current project, Unknown 9, Awakening. They had a cinematic trailer. We see a young girl by the name of Haruna.
Harambe?
Not Harambe. Haruna.
Oh.
As she discovers she has supernatural abilities. It looked really, really interesting. They didn't show any gameplay. Like I said, it was just a cinematic trailer. And it looked like she had some sort of time bending powers. Basically she's getting chased by some kids and, they go to like hit her with a stick and she like braces and this pulse comes out of her. And then like a ghost stick hits her and the kid, like you can see the ghost of the kid hitting her, but the actual kid is like still posed to hit her. And she kind of gets up and moves around and then everything snaps back to like real time and she dodges the stick. And all the kids are like, whoa, what the heck? What did she just do? So I'm really curious to see what that's going to amount to. Because I think it could be really, really cool. But anyway, Doom Eternal, the Ancient Ones DLC was revealed. Now, I'm not the Doom guy, but Steven, you are. So,
I'd returned Doom Eternal on PC within a few hours of getting it. So I don't know if I can call myself the Doom guy. But yeah, I do love Doom. It's not Doom Eternal.
It looked like more Doom to me from what I've seen. It's supposed to be more story focused. I never played Eternal, but what I remember was that it was a shorter campaign than people were expecting or something like that. So it has a little bit more story content for you. So that's exciting. We got a first look at Dragon Age 4. It was basically just some concept art, really cool looking concept art, but they were just talking about the world and how cool it is and what they're wanting to do with it. So that was nice.
Good.
Doc Brown from Back to the Future interrupted the Gamescom opening night event to announce that Surgeon Simulator 2 was out now. So if you've been waiting for Surgeon Simulator 2, you can go play it. So it was very interesting having Doc show up to do that.
So it was the actual actor.
The actual actor, Doc Brown.
Why can't I remember his name?
I can't remember his name either. If you want to search it, I'll let you interrupt me and bring it in.
I will do that right now.
I
know.
He had a good line when he popped up.
Christopher Lloyd, yeah.
He when he pops up, Jeff is like, Doc Brown, what are you doing here? What? And
Jeff's a great actor, so I'm sure it was about as convincing as you're speaking of it just then.
And Doc Brown was like, "It's me, Doc Brown," whatever his line is, of like master of physicists, blah 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 blah, and I'm not that Rick guy or something like that. So he like called out Rick and Morty about it. So that was fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was the most interesting part about Surgeon Simulators 2's announcement. But it's out there. It's out there now if you want to play it. This was one that when the trailer started, I was not sure what it was. So I'm going to walk you through this trailer, Steven, and then I'm going to tell you what it was, okay?
Okay.
So it starts off with this like middle-aged man who looks like he's been through hell, right? He's obviously in a post-apocalyptic, oh my gosh, post-apocalyptic, anyway, world, like the world was devastated, and he's sneaking around. He's got like a bag or something, and he's running around, and he gets into this warehouse, and we see that he's being followed. And he gets in this warehouse, and he is looking around the warehouse, and he starts to sit down, and he pulls out a computer and starts to work on his computer doing something. And for a second, I was like, is this like the announcement of G4? Because you remember G4 had that big like warehouse where like it had different Easter eggs of like old shows that they were doing. And then there was a TV that broadcast like G4's coming back or something. I thought this was about to be like their announcement. And so that's what I was expecting, right? That's where my brain was. So the guy's on his computer in this random warehouse. We know he's being followed. So you're like, what is he doing? Well, then we start to see like a bunch of people coming up to him. And anyway, turns out they're zombies and they attack him because he was playing a video game. Well, the video game he was playing is the next video game they announced, Bridge Constructor, Walking Dead Edition. Which is just like the dumb, like, what?
Oh, man. That's hilarious.
You need to go. I should have just not told you about it because the trailer is worth the watch, especially if you go into it blind, because it's just like, what the heck? And then it's just like Walking Dead, Bridge Constructor. It's like, what? Why do we need a Walking Dead version of Bridge Constructor?
You gotta love tone deaf announcements like that. It takes balls to be that ignorant.
I mean, like, whatever, because Walking Dead obviously was big at some point, but I think its popularity has drastically waned in the last couple of years. So, Sam and Max Reboot is coming to VR.
That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know that I ever played a Sam and Max game. So, but VR is fun. So I'm sure that'll be interesting. World of Warcraft Shadowlands release date was announced. It's coming October 27th.
Okay.
They had a really cool cinematic play, something about the Bastion and these like angel people who guide people to the Shadowlands or something. I don't know. It was very interesting. If you're a World of Warcraft person, it looked cool. So.
If you're a World of Warcraft person, also don't judge our channel based on the way that Jake just talked about it, because neither he or I have played WoW enough to have any knowledge of
disregard enough. I've never played WoW.
Well, I've played a little bit, but
not in a while.
So, yeah, Courtney, if you're watching this, don't get mad at us for our ignorance.
Courtney, there's something for you. All right, Warcraft Shadowlands is coming. Then they talked about Warhammer Age of Sigmar, Stormground revealed. This is coming from Gasket Games and Focus Home. They revealed their new fantasy strategy game. So there you go.
So it's a new Warcraft.
Basically.
Did you say Warhammer or Warcraft?
Warhammer.
Okay, so it's
Warhammer
Warhammer.
Age of, yeah.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's cool.
It looked good from what I remember. Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time. They announced flashback tapes, which, if I'm recalling correctly, are basically it's hidden levels that have ramped up difficulty. But in their interview, it made it sound like these were lost levels, like
Okay.
levels that they use to test the game of like, oh yeah, we're just messing around to make sure this stuff works, and they like just made really hard levels, and it sounded like they were bringing those to be playable or something. But anyway, I'm not a Crash person either, so they kind of lost me there. They showed a new Outriders cinematic trailer.
Which, should we talk about Outriders? Because
I mean, we can park here for a second and talk about Outriders.
I would love to talk some Outriders, because every time they talk about that game, it looks more and more awesome.
They their most recent live stream talked about the Technomancer, which, if I was to create a character lovingly to like give to Steven, I don't know that I could do better than the Technomancer.
Yeah, it's a healer / summoner / sniper that has green as its color.
Who ice powers.
Oh yeah, it's literally my 4 things.
I mean, yeah, I don't know how it could be any better. So
yeah, so I'm pumped. They showed the Technomancer. They had a light broadcast this time because it was the Technomancer, and then they did their deep dive on the Devastator, and that was basically it. But the Devastator looks awesome.
Yeah.
But something, I don't know if you caught this, if you watched the whole broadcast, but the Devastator was able to use its impale ability to hit multiple enemies. And I was watching it with my brother because that he was there when I went on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like, wait, can it hit multiple enemies or not? Because sometimes he would, sometimes he wouldn't. They very quickly mentioned that aspect and said gear can alter skills. So the multi-target impale was because of a piece of gear that Devastator had equipped.
That's cool.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Because that means we're going to have defining gear pieces, and that's great.
Yeah, that's so much better than just raising some stats.
Yep.
Let's see. Necromunda under Hive Wars. They showed a new trailer for Necromunda under Hive Wars. They showed the 4 different house players and who you can choose from. It's coming out on PS4, Xbox One, PC, and on September 8th. Teardown gameplay trailer was revealed. This is Tuxedo Labs Teardown. Got a gameplay trailer showing how you can work together to destruct, or how you can work together in indestructible environments to pull off a perfect heist. So this is a cool game. You've probably seen bits and pieces of it before, Steven, but if I remember correctly, it's made by one guy, but like he built his own game because he wanted everything in the world to be destructible. And so it's not quite pixel, but it's like, you know how Minecraft is all like pixels kind of, but they're like big blocks.
Yeah.
It's like, if you like, let's say that's 8-bit, this is like 16-bit. So it's like just a couple more blocks.
Just a couple more bits.
A couple more bits. And so anyway, but everything's destructible. So like you can drive cars through things and you can burn things, and it's very cool. But like the gameplay is you go into an environment, you destroy it to create a path to quickly hit all these trigger points, and just do it the fastest you can. So anyway, cool little thing, cooler story about it than really. I mean, the game looks fun, but it's cooler to me that this guy was like, I'm going to build my own game engine so I can destroy everything. But yeah. We got another look at Little Nightmares 2. They had a gameplay trailer.
Awesome.
It looks so good. I cannot wait. But good. It was interesting. They've had some interviews with folks afterwards, and they were talking about how you have to form uneasy alliances with the people you meet. And I noticed in this trailer, like, I'm going to call her Raindrop because that's what we called her in our Let's Play of the game. But I think her name is actually 6 or something.
It's a number of some.
The little girl you play as in the first one, she's the second player in some of the gameplay moments. But in other moments, there are other characters, and then other times you're just completely alone. So I don't know if it's going to be kind of like in and out co-op, or like if if you can just randomly jump in or what. But I am terrified to see what's going to happen with Raindrop, because it ended very strangely for her at the end of
because she's an awful person.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I'm so disappointed in this little girl that we helped raise.
She ate Drop Top.
She ate Drop Top, and I kind of hate it. I can never forgive her for that. So anyway, if when Little Nightmares 2 comes out, we are going to do something special for it. I'm telling you right now, expect a lot of Little Nightmares 2 when it comes out.
Expect the expected.
Expect the expected.
Which is that we'll play it
because we like it. WWE 2K Battlegrounds got a trailer. They revealed commentators. So Jerry the King Lawler and Mauro Ranallo.
Okay.
They'll be joining to be commentators in the game. So that's fun. Star Wars Squadrons got a look at their campaign gameplay. Cool. They had some interviews too talking about it. It features Princess Leia, a TIE fighter attacking enemy outposts, all sorts of stuff. The cinematics looked really, really good. I cannot wait to play this game in VR, is all I have to say.
It's going to be super cool in VR.
I cannot wait. It looks like it's going to be so much fun. They showed... Do you remember 12 Minutes, Steven?
Yeah.
Okay, so 12 Minutes is a top-down game of a man who is stuck in a 12-minute time loop where his wife is killed in front of him, and then he dies. Whenever he's killed, his day it starts back over 12 minutes later. And I think it's coming exclusively to like Microsoft platforms, so PC and Xboxes. Yeah. But I really hope there eventually gets a PS4 or a Switch release somehow. They announced the voice cast for it, which I don't know that it had a voice cast before, but get this. James McAvoy.
Yes.
Daisy Ridley. Yay. And Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Like, what? This is like a crazy cast.
Yeah.
So that's...
Well, Daisy Ridley's been struggling to find work, so that's not surprising that she's...
Look, I like Daisy Ridley. She was great in Express to the Orient. Is that what it's called? What is it called? Murder of the Orient. Murder on the Orient Express. That's what it's called. She was good in that. Obviously, I thought she'd be great as Rey, but anyway. But Willem Dafoe, he was the one. He was the narrator, I think.
Willem Dafoe is such a scary man.
Isn't he? He did great. Like, if you need to go watch the trailer with him in it, Steven, because it was so good.
Yeah.
Warframe Heart of Deimos expansion arrives on all platforms. It launched this past week. It's now on Nintendo Switch. I think they must have launched it the night of. So more Warframe if you like Warframe.
Sweet.
Override 2 was announced. Super Mecha League. Steven, this is that game where we both controlled a robot.
Hiroshima,
yeah. That was Outride 2 is announced. So they've announced their sequel. It's got a holiday 2020 release window. It's going to be coming to PS4, Xbox One, PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. So
cool.
Very exciting. Gonna have to try that one. Sims 4 Journey to Batuu expansion. So Sims 4 is getting a full Star Wars expansion.
Lame.
It was pretty funny. The trailer was pretty interesting. But yeah, that's happening. Mafia Definitive Edition got a story trailer reveal. They showed some new cutscenes, all that good stuff. Lemon's Gate announced. It's a first-person shooter meets turn-based strategy game. The Star Wars...
I'm listening.
Do what?
Tell me more about this RTS FPS.
Lemon's Gate. And I don't remember this one specifically, and that's all the article has for me. It just says first-person shooter with turn-based... Or meets... It says first-person shooter meets turn-based strategy game. It's announced for PS4, Xbox One, PC, and it's coming in 2021. They showed Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga was delayed. It's now coming to PS5 and Xbox Series X in 2021. Struggling got shadow dropped during this. So this is a game by developer Chasing Rat. It's a Switch game. It's a physics-based co-op platformer where players need to work together to control the arms of a strange meat creature. So you're literally like a meat blob that has like maybe 2 arms, and I guess you can like grow random things. It looks very gross.
So did you say Lemons Gate?
It's spelled ELEMNIS.
MNIS.
Man, is that how you would have said that? Lemons Gate?
Lemnis
Gate. Okay.
I looked up straight up the yellow fruit gate, like Lemons Gate, and I was wrong. Okay, cool. Carry on.
Okay. First chorus gameplay. This is a dog park space. No, I'm sorry. A dark dog fighting space game. I don't remember this one at all. I must have missed that. I don't know how I missed that. Fall Guys Season 2 got announced. Season 2 is going to be medieval themed. So they showed off lots of new costumes, and then they showed off lots of new levels that they're going to be adding. A lot of the levels seem to have movable platforms that it looked like people were going to have to work together to move them so that you could progress. And I just don't know how that's going to work. I am not looking forward to those levels because I'm already stressed out.
By the way, Lemnis Gate is dead to me. I have no interest.
Good to know. Any particular reasons or
online PvP only?
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yep.
Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition release date was announced. It is coming on October 5th of this year to PC via stream and the Microsoft Store. Wastelanders 3 Liberty character trailer reveal.
Wastelanders 3, yep. It launched this past week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's on Games Pass. Basically, Divinity, Original Sin?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's like a cross of that and XCOM if it was Fallout.
Okay. Well, they announced a new character named Liberty. We got a first look at Medal of Honor Above and Beyond story. This is a game that's entirely in VR, made by Respawn, I want to say. And
that sounds right.
I don't see that here, but I'm pretty sure that's right. So I'm really curious to see how this is going to play out. So they showed a story trailer. I'm sure there's going to be other modes, but like one of the things they talked about in the interview was they made the story to just happen. Like it doesn't matter who you're looking at or what you're doing. Like the story is going to take place and you're just there experiencing it. Like you're a character, obviously, but like it never forces you to look at a certain person or do anything like that is what they kind of talked about. So
Respawn in the past, because I think they did Titanfall 1 in addition to Titanfall 2, I believe.
Yes.
But in Titanfall 1, there was that big aspect of the story happens with or without you, because you'd be fighting in missions and then people would be talking during the mission in PvP, so you didn't know what was happening with the story. But that is kind of an interesting aspect to present where you're just a soldier on a battlefield and the story happens with or without you. I like that. That's cool.
Should be good. And it'll be interesting. I'm curious to see how they're going to do shooting in VR, because shooting in VR is fine. But there's somebody known for making great first person shooters. So
Respawn does a heck of a job with movement and shooting.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious. Yeah,
me too. Spellbreak, which is the magic-based battle royale, got its release date. It's going to be launching for free on September 3rd with crossplay on PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. So if you've seen me stream that and wanted to try it out, it's going to be free on September 3rd. So there you go. Turken Anthology is in development. This is they showed a behind-the-scenes look from Factor 5, who is currently working on the Turken Anthology. I'm not very familiar with Turken, so
spell it.
Turrican. It's an older game, I think, and it looks like they're just remaking it a little bit. But anyway, we got to see Destiny Beyond Light. They showed off a Stasis gameplay trailer, kind of emphasizing the new things. So they actually named all the different supers.
Yeah.
And then they kind of showed off what each one does.
Okay, what do they do?
Well, I really should watch a breakdown because I'm still a little confused. I don't remember exactly what they all are here. I'm going to go to a different article that's got this here. So I'm rolling to see. Okay.
Yeah, this is the make or break moment for for me playing Destiny this fall.
So I'm going to have to jump around here. All right. The Warlock super is the Shade Binder, which will, quote, fracture with frost. The Hunter Revenant will, quote, bring the storm. And the Titan Behemoth will, quote, crash like an avalanche. So I'm trying to get to where...
It tells us nothing.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt watching the trailer, too. It didn't really fully break down exactly what was happening. Basically, what it revolved around was your character attacked a certain area, and then everything within that area of effect was frozen and stopped in time. I'll be honest, the most interesting thing, like the thing that I'm most curious about with the stasis abilities are the auxiliary abilities, like your melee and your grenades and stuff.
Right.
Because it looks like there's a grenade that each class is going to have where they can spawn a platform of ice.
Yeah.
And I think the Titan Super spawns several of those. But anyway, like they showed off in some other trailers where that was like a platforming device. So I'm really curious to see how that's going to play out.
Right.
Anyway, I don't know. I'm curious to see more, but yeah, I need someone to do like a deep dive breakdown of what that really was showing us. So
yeah, I just watched all of it. Gonna be honest, they look super boring.
Yeah.
Because they just look like everything we've seen before. Because the Warlock is probably the one that looks the most interesting because it's a roaming super that looks like maybe a cross between like a Void Walker and a Dawnblade.
Yeah.
But the Hunter one just looks like the Night Stalker, but with the ability to ranged attack.
Mm-hmm.
And the Titan literally just looks like the human missile.
Yeah,
the Striker.
I feel like the Striker already exists, so why do we need this one? But
yeah, not impressed.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm just curious to see how the abilities are gonna.
Yeah, like the skill tree is the more important part. I don't care about the super as much.
Yeah. Well, they literally are stopping everything in its tracks with these abilities. So like, I'm really just curious how that's going to play into. I'm just thinking like, raid bosses, like if when a raid boss starts, if you could freeze it in its moment of vulnerability, and then, there are people who have who can kill things in like one or two shots, with all these stacked abilities and stuff.
I'm gonna tell you right now, because this is I will be surprised if Bungie proves me wrong. The freeze won't work on bosses, and if it does, it'll be like half a second.
Yeah, who knows?
Because they don't know how to let you feel super powerful against bosses when it comes to like control effects. A lot of games struggle with that.
Mm-hmm. We'll see what it does. And then to close out the night, they showed an extended gameplay demo, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart on PS5. So they showed off some gameplay. I think it's some gameplay that we saw from the PS5 event back in, was that August? Whenever that was. No, it couldn't have been August. Was it August?
It was July.
Okay, July.
I think.
Anyway, showed off an extended quote unquote live gameplay of that. So Looks good. Looks like Ratchet and Clank looks as good as it did at the other event. So
Cool.
excited to see where that goes. But anyway, that was Gamescom. There have been some other announcements. Like Gamescom is obviously like a full week-long event. I'm not going to go down all of them, but the one that I wanted to mention, there's a couple that have kind of piqued my interest. One of which is dogs are coming to Sea of Thieves. And I'm just here to tell you, I wish Sea of Thieves was on another platform other than Xbox, and I wish that there were private servers. And if I could have those things, they would be making bank off of me, because there are cats in the game. There are now dogs in the game. I would literally have a crew of just pets. There are monkeys. There are birds. I would have a zoo on my little one-person boat. That's all I would do, and I would just sail around and have adventures with my buddies. And then the other one that I wanted to bring up is Genshin Impact, which is the Breath of the Wild looking. It's like if Breath of the Wild met anime game. It's coming on September 28th to PS4, PC, iOS, and Android. And as I understand it, it is a free-to-play game.
It is.
So very, very curious to see.
It could go either way. The fact that it's coming to mobile concerns me.
Yeah, but I feel like people are just putting things on mobile, even though, like, that game, I feel like it was designed for PS4, and then they were like, oh, we can port it to PC. Oh, well, if we're going to port it to PC, let's just port it to mobile. Like, we can do that.
Yeah.
Like, and it just kind of fell apart from there.
That's the
as opposed to, what was that other game? Pathfinder, right? Is that what it's called? The Archer game where you don't aim.
Yeah.
That one, I feel like that one was like, oh, we're going to put this on iPhones. Well, we should probably make it specific for that. So I don't know. Oh, let's just throw it on PS5. Anyway, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, lots of good Gamescom news out of there. To keep rolling on, let's talk about Marvel's Avengers, because there's tons of fun things we could talk about them. We're getting very close. It's actually, as of this airing, the Chortlecast airs every Monday at 12 o'clock Central Standard Time. Tomorrow, Tuesday, Steven and I are going to be live streaming Marvel's Avengers.
Depending on when it launches, it's 72-hour early access, and the game is set to launch Thursday at midnight, I think. So that means we might be getting it Monday at midnight, so tonight.
Ooh.
And if that does in fact happen, I probably won't stream it unless if there's like a huge outcry for it, but I'll probably be playing by tonight.
Yeah. Oh, I can't stay up, but I would.
I'm excited.
I am too.
I'm
excited to play as Thor. You know what I mean? And I know I'm probably going to have to get through like 2 or 3 hours before I can get to Thor. And God knows how long I'm going to have to play to get to Captain America. But I'm just really excited to get to those two.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
I think, Captain America is going to be a slog, but Thor shouldn't take too long, because the Once an Avenger mission showed Iron Man and Hulk there. I don't know if Black Widow was, so I don't know.
I think she was. Dang.
Yeah. Well, we know you'll get Thor before you get Cap.
That's true. That's true. I'll get Thor before I get Cap. So there you go. We'll get there eventually. But anyway, so a couple things we want to talk about. But to start us off, the news article that I kind of flagged, Marvel's Avengers, every post-launch character will have a $10 battle pass. Now, to break this down, because that's a lot of lingo that gets thrown around, and that it means different things for every game. So to quickly explain, in Marvel's Avengers, every character has a quote battle pass. I think it's called a challenge card. They have challenge cards.
Yeah.
And basically all it is as you level the character, you unlock different cosmetics.
It's literally just like nameplates and costumes and some color alterations for costumes. Yeah, it's none of it is gameplay affecting.
All
things,
cosmetic.
All
cosmetic. Yep. So yeah, we saw those in the beta. I don't know if anybody watched. I don't know if I ever had any moments, but I remembered specifically kind of looking around and suddenly just buying like all of Kamala's stuff, which like I didn't spend real money. They gave you enough currency to like get some of the people's cosmetics.
Right.
So I kind of fooled around with that. And I was like, oh, what is this? Like, I still don't really fully understand it, but that's just that's what it is. So the deal is you and this is something they've said from the beginning, is that every new character that comes to the game will be free, right? When Hawkeye launches, that's a free update. Everyone will get his missions. They'll get his character. You'll have him. That's it. What they're making you pay for is this challenge card. So if you want to unlock costumes for Hawkeye, you're going to have to pay, basically it amounts to $10 for the currency to buy the challenge card. And you can only earn that currency through real world money. So
that is there is a caveat to that, actually. You earn the currency through other challenge cards, and the launch characters, I believe, will all be free.
Yes, they will.
As far as their challenge cards, and you will get that currency from their challenge cards. So technically, if you only ever want the costumes through challenge card means, you will never have to buy a challenge card, because if you complete, let's say Hawkeye's challenge card is $10, you get $10 worth of currency through playing his challenge card all the way up. So you get refunded, basically.
Okay, so I'm reading this now. So all post-launch characters, premium hero will cost however to activate. If you complete the entire card, you will earn back your 1,000 credit activation costs.
So technically, you could. Rainbow Six Siege did the same thing, but it wasn't a full refund. But basically, you may only have to buy one challenge card ever, because you'll get refunded by completing the challenge card that you purchase, and you could just keep using that currency to get the next challenge card. So it's not that bad a deal, honestly. I'm totally fine with this.
Yeah, I'm fine with it too, because I think saying like, okay, yeah, all new characters are going to come for free. Like, that's super, super generous. And this is kind of the catch to that, of like, we're going to give you the character for free. Like, you're going to have the content. It's just all this fun stuff we need you to pay for because, and it's totally, I like that it is this way, because this is reality. Somebody has to pay for this content being made.
Right. And all post-launch content for this game will not charge you. That includes missions and stuff.
Exactly. So it's the catch of, I mean, honestly, in my opinion, you get the best of both worlds, because they could have just given you all this stuff and made you pay for it. But now they're saying, here's the stuff you really want. But if you want the full experience of costumes, like, it's still, you still get to play the missions and everything. Well, but like, if you want to get customs and customizable stuff and all that,
I don't know if you noticed this, but the challenge card is not locked. It's the premium track of the challenge card is what's locked behind the currency. So you can still get stuff.
There is a premium.
There is a premium. Yes, the premium will probably include the credits that you'd earn, like the 1,000 credits will be locked in the premium track. Probably the more rare costumes. Like, if I had to guess, the costumes you get through the free track are reskin, like different colors of basic costumes or something.
Right.
And then the premium is where you'd get, like, for Hawkeye, the Ronin costume, maybe. So you aren't completely screwed. Like, you're not really screwed at all. If you don't buy into this, you still get some stuff. It's just, to get the really cool stuff, you'll have to pay the money, but you really only have to pay it once. Or if you just save your premium credits, like save 1,000 credits, put that off to the side from doing the main hero challenge cards, then you're good. You don't have to spend a dime.
Right.
It's very generous.
Yeah, that's interesting. I had not seen, I didn't realize there was a premium and a standard track for that. Yeah. I thought it was all one thing.
If you look at the, well, I've got the, I've got a page opened up right now that's talking about it, because I thought I had read it somewhere that said that it was a premium and a free. If you look at the way challenge cards are laid out, there is kind of that upper section, and then there's the lower section. Mm-hmm. The lower section, I assume, will be the premium.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because that's almost battle passes work. There's a free version that has, some stuff, and then obviously the paid ones.
I've seen so many people complain about this. They've just been like, "Oh, there's your microtransactions. It's going to ruin the game." Honestly, this is the most generous version of a battle pass out there, pretty much. Because Rainbow Six Siege, as I mentioned before, they do something similar to where through the premium track, you earn back a lot of the currency that you spend to get it in the first place. But for them to do that with all these characters is not a bad deal. It's pretty much just them putting in the means to milk the cow. Yeah. To get the money from the whales that can afford it and don't care about the time. Because that's another thing. You can fast track through the battle pass by spending more currency. But if you just want to farm out the character stuff, you just play through the battle pass. You will, in theory, never have to spend a dime on microtransactions and still be able to have every single bit of cosmetics that a player who bought everything has. Yeah. In theory.
Yeah.
That's a sweet deal.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's like I said, the reality is they could have charged you for every new character, every new mission, but instead they're giving you those things. And then if you want the cosmetics that come with it, you got to pay this fee.
Yeah, it really does
like
feel...
you said, if you play it smart, you may not even have to pay for it. So
it really does feel like them not taking advantage of, but them utilizing the people with the deep wallets who don't have the time, but they're them like pulling off to the side
to feed the minnows.
Ooh, that's good.
Is that good? I thought that was pretty good.
But yeah. It's like they're bringing us off to the side. Those of us that play games a lot, and they're just like, hey, don't worry about that. Just this is what you need to do, and you're good. But they're using those whales that don't care about the money to help fund the game, to keep it flowing with content and keep it fun. I don't see a problem with it. And I know everyone is looking, not everyone, but a lot of people are looking for reasons to crap on this game. But I don't see a problem here personally.
Speaking of problems, let's talk about the war table that's going to be happening tomorrow.
Let's hope it's not a problem.
I say rumors, but it's not rumors. It is confirmed they are going to be talking about the next post-launch character. Yep. Do we know who it is?
We don't. It's probably Captain Marvel.
I'm still
holding on to my thinking that Captain Marvel is a secret launch character.
That would be my preferable option. It was interesting when they revealed Hawkeye, right? Because they showed a little graphic that showed all of the heroes that are coming with the game. And then they went to post-launch and it showed some more seals with like logos. And Hawkeye was the second one, not the first one.
Yeah, there was a question. It was a bunch of question marks and Hawkeye. But between launch characters and Hawkeye, there was another question mark. And they've confirmed that he is the first post-launch character. So if that is all chronological, then one would think that is a secret launch character.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I hope it's Captain Marvel. So do you think they're talking about a post-launch character, or do you think they're talking about
just an unveiling of...
would you call it a secret launch character? Is that how you worded that?
Secret launch character, yeah.
Do you think that's what it really is going to be, or is it going to be the person after Hawkeye?
I think it's going to be post-launch because it would be so much more effective for someone to, like, the few days after the game comes out and then suddenly, boom, it's trending on YouTube. Captain Marvel, secret character, unlocked on Marvel's Avengers. Like, like that is super smart if they do it that way, because if they talk about her as a secret character ahead of release, then they've effectively put all of their cards into one day. To where, sure, people will be talking about the game, but why not have a spike in publicity on Tuesday when the game comes out? Which I guess would technically be actually, okay, yeah. It's making more sense to me now. Tuesday is early access day. That's when you and I are getting the game.
Yep.
By Friday, when the game launches for everybody, those Tuesday players will probably have figured out, holy crap, Captain Marvel's in this game. By Friday, everyone's talking about it and people are like, oh shoot, there's a secret character in this game. I have to go buy it on its launch day.
Yeah. Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. So you're thinking it would be someone who's not Captain Marvel?
I'm thinking that this post-launch character would be someone that is not Captain Marvel. I would hope Doctor Strange, but I doubt that it's him.
What if it's Black Panther?
Someone? Man, if it was Black Panther,
what a time for that to happen. I didn't put this in the show, but we, obviously Chadwick Boseman sadly passed this week as well. And there's just been an outcrying of love and support to him and his family, and we definitely echo those. We were kind of talking about beforehand. It's like we know him as the Black Panther. Like I know he's been in other stuff,
about it. Yeah,
but I haven't seen any of that. But he brought such a life to that character and set such a role model and precedence from that.
Yeah, and the fact that he was going through his diagnosis through the height of his career from 2016 to now is just super impressive. And all along the way, he was an advocate for cancer treatment. He would visit kids who had cancer and stuff. And just for him to suffer in silence like that, but still be a hero for those people is just inspiring. It's just a real testament of character. Yeah. It is inspiring.
Yeah. So anyway, that might be an interesting tribute.
I hope they do it. That seems like a bit of a left field. But
how long have we known that they were going to talk about a post-launch character in this?
The day they announced the War Table, I think, which was a day or two ago, I think.
Oh, okay. For
Saturday or Friday, something like that.
It could line up.
I think it was the day that news broke about Chadwick. So, but I think it was earlier in the day.
Yeah. I can't decide if that would be poor taste or not, but we assume wasn't Black Panther one of the characters that kind of leaked? There was a list of like 15 characters or something that
I think he was. Found. Let me check.
I'm pretty sure because I remember it was Captain Marvel, and then there's like She-Hulk.
Marvel was on there for some reason.
Marvel was on there, which is so stupid. I feel like that's going to be a costume. That's going to be a cosmetic or more than anything. There was War Machine.
Doctor Strange was on there.
Doctor Strange was on there. Black Panther was on there. I want to say Wasp was on there. Was Wasp on there?
She was. She was.
Anyway, that would be a timely one. I think that would be a nice way.
If it is Black Panther, that's going to be a huge coincidence.
Yeah, I would think. My money leans.
It did include Black Panther, by the way.
Okay,
it did include him.
I thought it did. My money would be on Captain Marvel, and they blow the load. Because see, the way I see it as they're having this War Table on Tuesday because there are going to be crazy people like you and I who are going to play it at midnight. And there are going to be people that are crazier than you and I who are going to stay up all night and beat the game. And those people will discover that Captain Marvel is there. So I almost feel like they're going to use this time in the War Table to say like, oh, hey, by the way, Captain Marvel's in the game, blah, ha, ha. Because and kind of just ride the wave themselves. Because that story is going to come out by the end of Tuesday anyway.
Here's my thought. And this is not necessarily my thought, but it's my hope. The Avengers.
Steven just said, this is my thought. It's not my thought, but it's my hope.
Yeah. The Avengers prequel book comes out tomorrow. It was supposed to come out August 1st. Then they changed the date. Comes out tomorrow.
And it talks about Doctor Strange, right?
Doctor Strange and Brother Voodoo are both specifically mentioned in the synopsis. So my thought is that the second post-launch character is going to be Doctor Strange, and they're going to cross-promote the book and say like something along the lines of like, what is Doctor Strange doing here? What about magic? You can read our tie-in book today. It's out now. Something like that.
That would be cool. I'd be down with that. Yeah. Anyway, it's going to be very, very exciting. Like we said, we'll be playing, at the very least, we'll be playing Tuesday. If we're crazy enough, we might be live streaming Monday night, but we'll play it by ear and see how that goes. So, let's jump into catch up. It's Steven, it's been a while. We skipped last week, due to scheduling errors. You've been all running around Colorado. I'm
a giraffe.
I'm a giraffe. There you go. I hope they have were there t-shirts or anything like that while you were there that said that?
There were not I'm a Giraffe t-shirts. The one t-shirt I saw, I think I deleted the picture, but it was, the Salt brand with the girl in the raincoat and the umbrella.
Yes.
It was that, but it said, "Sorry, I'm a salty bitch." and that was hanging at the door of this shop we went to.
Wow. Okay.
So no, I'm a giraffe, but sorry, I'm a salty bitch was there.
They're missing out on a major marketing campaign.
They are,
and I'm disappointed.
Although
in
it's Aspen, so I don't think they're really. I bet you there's shirts like that in like Denver or Boulder or something like that, but in Aspen, they're too good for your vines.
I bet you Boulder has a t-shirt that says, "That's a nice boulder. I like that boulder."
Probably. I don't know.
Probably.
We went to Aspen. We went to bougie, Colorado.
So it was nice, though? You saw a moose?
It was nice. I saw a moose. We went to, I always forget what it was called. Maroon Bells, which is a park, nature trail, something. I don't know, but a lot of mountains, a lot of wild animals and stuff. You know, those pictures of like water reflecting mountains because it's so clear. Mm-hmm. It was like it was that. It was really pretty. We were walking down the trail, and my brother turns around. He just goes, "Oh my God, turn around or don't move or something." And I looked, and I saw in this bush this rising dark brown mass. Mm-hmm. And my first thought was, "That's a bear." One of us is gonna get.
Jake was right about land sharks. It's bears are just as scary.
Well, my first thought was there were 14 of us total, counted like in our group because it was my family, and so we're a large basketball team. But my first thought was, all right, who's getting eaten?
Who's the slowest?
There's so many people here; it could be anyone. But then I saw the antlers pretty quickly. It was like a split second thought. I saw the antlers and I was like, oh, it's a moose. Wait, those are also really dangerous. Is this okay?
Are we okay?
But the moose was super chill. You could tell that it's used to seeing people on the trail because it just kind of sat up. We woke it up accidentally, of course, just by us walking and the fact that my family is very loud. And it just started eating leaves and it just let us take pictures of it. And so we went down the path and then came back about an hour and a half later, and the moose had moved to the water and it was just drinking some water. And so people were taking pictures of it. I got some really good pictures. Mm-hmm. It was a very photogenic moose. But then later that day, when we got back to the condo, one of the workers at the condo was talking to my dad, and he was like, "Oh, did you hear about this moose? It's all over the papers down in Maroon Bells. A moose came out and was just getting pictures taken and stuff." And my dad was like, "Yeah, we woke it up.
We were there.
We literally made this story happen." So if you're around the Snowmass, Colorado area and you read the story about the moose, that was actually my family that woke that moose up.
That's so funny.
And caused the story to happen. There you go.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it was fun. A lot of pretty sights out there. Good food. I had barbecue from this Hickory Smokehouse place or whatever. That's apparently a really well-known barbecue place. I normally don't like barbecue, but I've learned because of this place, I really like brisket. I feel like I always knew, but I think I had a bad experience with brisket. Like
deep down, I always knew I liked
deep
brisket.
down, I always knew that I was a brisket man, but now I know for sure.
Well, good.
But it was really
glad
good.
You learned things about yourself.
Yeah.
Well, did you get to play anything while you were doing all this?
Played a lot of Sentinels with my family.
Yeah.
That was basically it. Surprisingly, didn't play my Switch once.
Wow.
Yeah.
Even did y'all drive or fly?
We flew. Yeah, even on the plane.
Even on the
didn't
plane.
Play.
Did you watch Netflix or something? Would you?
No. Surprisingly not. And
did you sleep? What'd you do?
Well, I just kind of sat there, I think. I don't know why I didn't play anything.
Just had a good thinking.
I think a lot of it was just because, like, honestly though, I do have a lot of just good thought sessions, thinkings. I do that where I'll just kind of sit there and just zone out.
I'm picking on you, but I know exactly what I do that in the car all the time where I'll just think. So
yeah, I'll just be like, oh, 15 minutes has passed and I was just thinking about different types of pastas or something like that. Just something super random. But the flights that we had 2 flights. One was an hour long and the other one was hour and 45 minutes long. So there just wasn't a lot of time. So that's maybe why I didn't pull the Switch out.
I got you.
And because I guess I always feel bad because Anna was there too. And I didn't want to just be like, enjoy the flight. I'm going to go play this game. But I did download Tom Clancy's Elite Squad when it came out on Tuesday, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a complicated relationship, Jake, because it's a mobile game and
Steven hates mobile games.
It stinks of mobile game. You know, it's got the energy that you have to wait to recharge. It's got
that's the worst.
Yeah.
Like of all the transgressions of mobile games, that's probably the worst one. I don't understand that methodology at all.
See, I don't mind it that much.
Mm-hmm.
Normally I would, but it's a mobile game. But what I really mind is when the game knows exactly the point when they're going to hook you. And then they ramp the difficulty up by about 4 times and you have to spend the majority of your energy grinding.
Mm-hmm.
So you're literally at a halt before you can actually get anything that you want.
Right.
That's the frustrating part. But the roster of characters is really good and the base concept is really good because it is a real-time strategy RPG kind of where your squad goes up against other squads or the story mode or whatever. So I thought it was going to be turn-based and that would have been preferable. But it's dropped in and all you can do is pause or activate one of your 2 commander abilities. So it's more about planning and just timing your stuff correctly.
Gotcha.
And if it was deeper, that'd be great because right now, literally the only thing keeping me playing it is Tom Clancy and the fact that I can get Division agents and Echo from Rainbow Six Siege and Kozak from Ghost Recon Future Soldier.
Right.
And I can make them a team. Yeah, that's cool.
That's cool.
Because it's all the different, even Hawks, the fighter jet game has 5 characters in it. Like who would have thought? Yeah. So that aspect is cool, but it is fundamentally broken because of the way the game works. Because especially if you're doing like story missions, which is how you get most of the content. NPCs, when you're fighting their squads, they can target anybody. You can't choose who your guys are attacking unless if you use a combat order, of which you'll need 1 defensive one and 1 offensive one, probably, or 2 defensive ones. But if you use a defensive one, then your guys are just kind of shooting.
Right.
So you're basically just sitting there crossing your fingers, except for every 12 seconds or so where you can actually use an ability.
Right.
But the enemy squads can be like, who's the easiest guy to kill on this team? Oh, that guy? Cool. Let's all attack that guy. And then just instantly make you not get a perfect run, which I needed a perfect run on 5 consecutive chapters to unlock Scott Mitchell, who was the character, I think, in Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. Which I want that character because 1, he's an awesome character in the game, but 2, I just love all the Ghost Recon characters. So I spent 3 days pretty much being at that spot, being stuck trying to get through this mission where it was literally 1 mission I needed where I had to get no casualties, finished within 3 minutes, and then I guess just complete it at all. And the casualties part was killing me until I finally did it. So now I have Scott. Whoop-de-doo. And now I'm just waiting for the next roadblock before the game makes me spend 3 days farming and tempting me to buy stuff.
Yeah.
I hate mobile games, Jake. I hate them so much. This one's
a mobile game, I know. It sucks.
This one just happens to be a franchise that I like, so I play it.
Yeah.
You know?
I understand. It's kind of how I'm going to be with the Witcher Go game. That's not what they're calling it, but the Witcher Go game I'm going to have to get because I'm a Witcher fan. So I'm going to have to try it, but I probably won't do anything with it. Well, I have been playing Spiritfarer and Windbound. So Spiritfarer, it was a game that was shown at the Xbox showcase a while back. It's an indie title where you are the Spiritfarer and you are ferrying dead spirits to the afterlife. And so it's got veins of Animal Crossing where, in fact, they poke fun at Animal Crossing. Basically, you are caring for these different animal spirits, completing tasks for them and helping them transition into the afterlife. And it's very fun. You get to you have your boat and you're building out your boat with different houses for your animal friends and different, there's a garden, there's a field, there's a kitchen, there's a thing where you can melt down iron, all this and that. So it's very fun, very sweet. It is very chill. Like there's no pressure in the game at all. There's no time limits. There's no, you're not going to fail a mission if you don't do it at a certain time. So it's very, very chill. The music is really, really cute. And it's a very good story. Like there's a lot of reading to do in that one. So if you are looking for a story game, that's a good one. But then I've also been playing Windbound, which is a Breath of the Wild style survival game. It's also got elements of a roguelike. In that if you die, you start at the very beginning again. And everything is procedurally generated. You are this. You're a person who you can build you're stuck on an island, and one of the first things you can build is a grass canoe, and that gets you to the next island where you learn how to make a sail, and then you sail to the next island where you learn how to make, a spear or something, and basically you just can kind of keep building your ship, and you can build your ship out to have platforms, and basically it looks a lot like Moana, like if Moana was a survival game. And so anyway, it's very fun. It is, I feel like if you're smart, you can play it and not die. I am not smart, and I attack things when I am not equipped to fight them, and I'm not smart enough to run. I'm not smart enough to run away when I'm almost dead, because I just see how low the enemy's health is, and I'm like, I'm almost there. I can do it. I don't realize that I'm one hit away as well. Anyway, I've been really enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. It tells a story, but it's very vague. It's a lot like Journey, where there's no dialogue. It's all just images and imagery that are being shown to you with music. And so it's a very vague story. But anyway, it's all about the gameplay loop of surviving, hunting, making food, getting to the next island, and getting to the next chapter. So, and like I said, if you die, you start all the way at chapter 1. Now you keep all your knowledge. So like any recipes you learn, that sort of stuff. And you keep anything that was in your pocket. But like if you had a massive boat built out, gone, done, donezo, nothing for you. So anyway, it's very stressful. I can't wait. I'm probably going to play more of it this afternoon. So I'm excited to play more of it. Hey, thank you for watching this episode of Chortlecast. We do hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, there's a couple things you can do to help us out. Number one, if you're watching on YouTube, you're already at chortlegames.com. You can like this video, share it with friends, all that good stuff. Leave us a comment. If you prefer to watch on Facebook, you can watch us there at Chortle Games on Facebook. The podcast doesn't get to air here yet, but we are also on Twitter at Chortle Games and on Twitch at twitch.tv/Chortle_games. So we live stream to all 4 of those platforms simultaneously when we live stream. So feel free to watch us wherever you like. You can also join our Discord, which you can get to in the description of this video. Or if you just go to chortlegames.com, they'll take you to our YouTube channel page. In the banner, there's a little button. It's the Discord icon. Click that, and that'll get you to us. We hang out there. We let you vote on what we're live streaming, all that good stuff. That's pretty much it. The podcast is not the only thing we do. The podcast airs every Monday at 12 o'clock Central Standard Time. But we live stream throughout the week. We typically live stream on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday around 7 o'clock Central Standard Time is our typical starting time. But obviously with Avengers coming out this week, our schedules are a little flip-flopped. We might be streaming, or at the very least, Steven might be streaming some Marvel's Avengers tonight. Just depends on if it launches at midnight or normally, it launches at like 11 p.m. for us or something. So we might do something there. We might not get a chance to. Just depends with it being a work night. But we will be streaming Tuesday around 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, celebrating the launch or the early access launch of Marvel's Avengers. So we'll try to do some co-op. It might be something where we're watching someone play through the story and then we eventually catch up to do some co-op. We'll just see where it goes. So anyway, don't know that we'll have a Thursday stream because it'll be taking place on Tuesday. No, the normal Thursday stream will be on Tuesday. But look forward to Friday and Saturday for some streams. Probably going to be some Marvel stuff in there. We're just going to play it by ear. But that's pretty much it. That's it for the week. So, Steven, thank you for watching. Or you didn't watch. You just came and talked. Thanks for talking.
I will be watching. Hey, Steven, down there in the chat bar. Thanks for managing the chat.
We love that Steven in the chat.
Yeah.
In the chat over there.
What a guy.
Oh, if you haven't already, Kaylin, one of our mods, edited a year 4 anniversary video for us that if it is not already posted, it will be posting very shortly after this video. So be sure to go watch that, give it a like, give Kaylin a shout out in the chat. He did a great job. He did the one last year too. So it's very funny. It's a good look back at this past year. We're celebrating 4 years, Steven. I've been doing this for 4 years. You've been doing it for what, 3.5? 3, yeah.
3, I think.
So it's been a while.
Crazy.
It's been a wild ride. We're rolling into year 5. So that's crazy. We're almost at a big milestone, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah, get us to 1,000.
We're very close. We're at 908, I think, the last time I looked. So if you got any friends,
yep, that sounds right.
We are your number 1 news source for video games.
Yeah, you're only one. Hey, you under the rock.
Don't
go
ever
find
come out. You
go find your other
rock.
friends under their rocks and send them to us.
Send a distress call. Tap on the wall to get all your
tap on the wall in vague rock Morse code. They may not understand what you're trying to say, but they will probably be like, "Well, that's a weird noise I've never heard. Let's go investigate." And then they come find you under your rock, and then you're like, "Hey, do you also have outlets in your rock so you can have internet and stuff?" And they're like, "Well, of course, it's a rock." And then they can subscribe to us on YouTube because they have technology and electronics underneath their rock like you do.
For a second, what I thought you were going to say was you're tapping and it's some sort of vague Morse code they don't understand, but somehow they glean, we should Google Chortle Games and see where that takes us.
You're trying to say, "Help, I am stuck under a rock." And then they hear, "What? Subscribe to Chortle Games on YouTube."
I love it. Perfect.
Man, how do you mess up that bad?
What a time. What a time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. We'll see you later this week with some Marvel's Avengers. Boom. Bye.
Bye.